This week on Americana Outdoors, we're hanging out in camp with our friends from Umarex Airguns and Record Rack. On today's episode, we'll receive a thorough insight into just how powerful and reliable air guns and airbows are as hunting platforms. And we'll also learn about how crucial it is to follow an effective supplemental feeding program for wild game management. Let's get started with JB from Umarex. Before hitting the field, JB spent some time getting sighted in with his Umarex Hammer, and then it was time to start hunting.
The next morning, we wake up and it's pretty frigid. We get in that stand and we're sitting there, and it's not very long before the first doe comes in, and you can see it in front of us through the woods there a little bit, and then it eventually comes around to the left and into a little clearing. And that doe's milling around, and wasn't just a few minutes and the buck shows up. And it became pretty obvious this was a pretty good sized buck. It was a nice 10 point, but it was kind of staying out of range, outside the shooting lane, and sticking to that doe as that doe kind of wandered around where we couldn't really see it well, and definitely didn't have a shot on it. A little while later, after that one wanders off, another one comes in, and at first I thought, oh, this one's big, possibly bigger than the first one. He comes in and when he turns, he's like, yeah, he's not as big as I first thought he was. He's a little younger and definitely skinnier than that first one. So he wasn't a shooter. But you know, you gotta sit there and wait. Maybe something else is gonna come right in behind him. As the morning moves on and the deer moved out, that wasn't it. So that set kind of came up empty, but that's okay. Still had a lot of time left. Today, the goal was Aoudad, and we went to a spot where it's been known that Aoudad were frequenting. So we get there and get set up early. Just sitting there, waiting and hoping that things would go our way. I could hear the hoofs. Coming, and they were off to my left, which would have been the east, just slowly approaching. It wasn't a fast trot, just kind of coming in slowly, I'm sure checking things out. A beautiful ram comes by. And I haven't seen rams, especially this close, and so wasn't too sure of his size. You know, is he the right one? Is he not the right one? You know, is the mane right? I mean, all these things are going through my head, and I can't shoot to the east. That's not going to happen. I can't turn, so I have to wait for him to come around. And that's what he did, though. He came around, got a good little while to watch him. He kind of stays over here a little bit to the left, have a tree right in front, which limits some shooting lanes. I have a little skinny lane to the left and a wider lane here to the right in front of me. So I'm watching him over here in this left lane. He mills around grazing a little bit, and then he ventures over to the right. And another ram comes in, but from the other side. He starts grazing, and they're fairly close to each other, so I get a better idea. Okay, the first one's the better one. So they graze around. He actually comes back over here to this left shooting lane, but then he eventually comes back right, and I'm just trying to be patient. Just patient and quiet, and I had already gotten my gun in position after he passed by, just in case. I didn't want to spook anything, and plus we thought if other rams, ewes came in, perhaps, those eyeballs might spook, and so had to be very careful with the movements and whatnot. So I got ready early and watched them, and they grazed, and then he just stayed behind this tree grazing for a little bit, and had to wait patiently. Eventually he stepped over, and he just gave me the perfect broadside, just barely quartering away, and I knew that was the time to shoot.
We'll return to the field in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel.
That's not what I expected, for sure. But he turned just right.
It's a perfect quartering away shot.
Yeah, being patient, kind of that paid off. Look at that. Look at that. That is just something. Man, what a hunt this was. It's been a couple of days, and it's extremely rewarding to see it come together and happen. And the sun's not even fully up yet. But it's just, goodness gracious. A beautiful animal. Nice long mane there. I just can't believe that it dropped right where it was when the shot, but that 50 caliber slug seemed to do the job. And this morning I was running a 350 grain and just did what Wade told me. Center up above that leg and center of the body and let it go. But I gotta, thanks to these guys, Wade and Kevin and the crew, because they told me what to do. Oh, wow. After observing the beautiful creature, now it's time to getting back to camp. So I pull up that Yamaha, and a couple of tries, and we got him up into that Yamaha and we're able to get him secured and get back to camp. But whew, what an impressive animal. I would say one of the most favorite animals I've shot.
Congratulations on taking home an Aoudad, JB. Before we head to break, let's take a moment to learn more about Umarex Airguns.
So Umarex was founded in 1972 and headquarters is in Arnsberg, Germany. But we've got a USA division in Fort Smith, Arkansas, Umarex USA. We're making purpose-driven air rifles. And that means pellet pistols, BB guns, BB rifles, paintball guns, airsoft guns. We've got 22s for squirrel, we've got 25s for something a little bigger like raccoons. And you've got 30 calibers, be great for coyotes. And then of course the 50 caliber, which is good for any set of lungs that walks the planet. Innovation's really what we've been after the last decade, and that's where the Umarex Hammer came into play. That's the 50 caliber air rifle. Innovation doesn't stop there. Most recently we introduced the Umarex Complete, which is a nitrogen-powered air rifle, and that means there's a cartridge that we put nitrogen in, and that powers the rifle instead of having to pump it with an air compressor. We often get a lot of comments about, man, this rifle did exactly what you said it would do. It put down this animal, or man, this is putting squirrels in my freezer. That's what they're made to do. But then you've got customers also that say, this handgun is just like my firearm, so I'm able to practice with it. I can do holster drills, and I can make sure that when I draw, I can hit the target without having to shoot my firearm because maybe I can't get to the range as often as I'd like. That's where those replica handguns come in. So when it comes to hunting regulations with air rifles, especially for whitetail, we're talking about mostly the southern and southeastern states. Most of those are good, but you always want to check your regulations to make sure it's applicable, and you'll find that it's during rifle season is when you can hunt with air rifles. I love my job. And it's not just because I get to go hunt. And the people in the shooting industry, hunting and shooting industry, are absolutely amazing people. They're just down to earth, and we're all like-minded, and that is, we want everyone else to enjoy the things we enjoy and to experience the great outdoors.
We'll return to the field in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. We're back in camp with an experienced hunter and good friend, Gus Duncan. While he loves the thrill of Aoudad hunting, he's never hunted with an Umarex before. But that's all about to change.
When I got into camp, Wade's first thing, he's like, all right, man, what do you want to hunt with? He's like, did you bring your bow? He's like, yeah, I brought my bow. He's like, did you bring a rifle? He's like, yeah, I brought a rifle. He's like, what about the Umarex Air Sabre? And I was like, why are you real sure what that is? You know, so he kind of gave me some information on it, and I was like, you know what, I'd really like to shoot that thing. And, you know, we got it out, I shot it a little bit, and that's a really neat weapon. I mean, it's packing a lot of punch. I mean, I had a lot of confidence in it. You couldn't ask it to be more accurate.
Now that Gus is all sighted in and feeling confident with the Umarex Air Sabre at his side, it's time to prep the hunting site with attractants. As we know, having an efficient supplemental feeding program can make or break a hunt. Here's how Record Rack benefits your wild game management.
So Record Rack, we're a wildlife nutrition company. We supply wildlife nutrition across the U.S. And by having a correct supplemental feed program on a place like this, not only are you able to get them to their quality that you want them to be, but you also keep them here. That's a big thing about a supplemental feeding program. You keep the animals on your property and keep them from leaving so that you can have the opportunity to hunt and harvest them.
All right, game plan for today. Gonna be hunting out of the pop-up blind over here. We're gonna put out some Record Rack product, try to bring them in. We're gonna put out the Record Rack deer block over here to try to get something in. They love the berry smell of it. It's a good protein source for them. Hopefully they'll stand there and eat on it. We can get a shot. Then we're gonna take some of the golden deer nuggets. They're really digestible and stuff will really stand there and eat on them whenever they get there. So let's get some of them put out. So the golden deer nuggets, it was originally designed to be a corn replacer. It's really, really high in energy. It's got 3 times the fat level of corn. So they really, really like it because it's digestible. And it's got a lot of our berry flavor in it. So this is best utilized as an attractant or to mix with corn. If you want to add some energy to the diet, some fat and some protein, this is a very good way to do it in a spin cast type feeder. When using this stuff, I like to spread it out on the ground some to keep them just kind of walking around and eating, but I also like to make some visual piles so that they can walk up and there's a big pile and they'll stand there and eat in one spot for a while and hopefully give you an opportunity to harvest.
With the hunting site prepped for dinner, it's time to bunker down in the pop-up blind and let the Record Rack wild berry deer block and golden nuggets work their magic.
The game plan was to hunt this pop-up blind overlooking a little flat with a corn feeder and a cottonseed feeder. We went down and took some of the Record Rack deer blocks and some Record Rack golden deer nuggets, spread them around, put the blocks out, trying to kind of attract them into the area we really wanted them to shoot. So we got all that set up, got in the blind, and within no time, we had some deer, we had some aoudad, and they just kept coming and coming and coming. I think at one point, if there was 5, there was 80.
Now it's getting confusing.
So having that many animals in one spot, anywhere from 15 to 40 yards from you was a challenge. We were hunting with the Umarex Air Sabre, and we really wanted to shoot within 40 yards. So we set up all our bait and golden deer nuggets and blocks in that 20 to 30 yard range, hoping to entice them to stay close. But we never imagined there was going to be 80 sets of eyeballs in that close. So when you got that many animals that close looking around, it's hard to really get anything done without spooking something. That's really cool to see that many animals. There was a lot of rams, there was a lot of ewes, there was a lot of babies. They're very prolific. They're doing very well on this property. There was the big ram that we really, really wanted to harvest, but we just never could get him in a position to where we could. So we kind of let them stay as long as we could and stayed as long as we could. We finally snuck out of there when it got dark, hoping not to bust them too bad so we could slip back in the next day and hopefully get a shot at him.
We'll return to the field in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. We're back in the field with Gus Duncan as he heads out to his final hunt. Let's see if he'll leave here today with an aoudad.
We got up and was like, hey, same game plan. We're gonna go get back in the blind and we're just gonna get there early and hope that we can slip in there, be quiet, nothing hears us, and some stuff will start coming around. So we're in the blind, and I just happened to look up and oh my goodness, this big ram's coming.
Oh my God, where'd that go, bro? I don't know, is that him? Yes, that was unexpected. Yeah.
he decides he's going to come in the back way and jump in the feeder pen. So, you know, we're like, okay, well, he's going to be here for a while. He's by himself. He's comfortable. Wind's good. There's nothing to spook him. So we're just going to wait him out, see what direction he goes, and hopefully he'll go over and eat on some deer block, or maybe he'll come towards us. You know, there's so many different options he could do. Well, there's some more ewes that decide to come in, which actually was kind of a good thing for us, you know. So we were hoping that he would jump out of the feeder pen towards us, because if he come towards us, he would give us a perfect shot. That was our game plan. We just didn't know if it would come together or not. You know, so he had some more ewes come in. There was actually a couple kids, some babies out there, and the corn feeder decided to go off. Well, lo and behold, he jumped out straight towards us just like we wanted to, but he caught his front feet on the feeder pen and like did a flip, rolled around on the ground. He was as confused as I was. He didn't know what was going on. You know, he's like, how did I just fall? Then I think, well, he's gonna get up, I need to shoot him. I'm on him.
Smoked him.
Holy moly. The plan finally come together. He was bleeding like crazy. Yeah. Man, that was nerve-wracking. That happened really fast. Did you, he jumped, you know, the corn feeder went off, and he jumped out of the pen just like I wanted him to towards me, but he fell. He fell down and like done a flip. That was crazy.
Yeah, this is where he ran right here. Some blood.
Yeah. I've had them suckers get up and run on me.
Yeah. If he gets up and runs off now, he is a tough dude.
Yeah. We had one with Jason Christie we chased for 3 days, and that sucker got up about that far from me. That's a good one.
That's a big holy crap.
God, look at the body on it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to mount him.
Look at the, I mean, that is a perfect double lung.
Yeah.
Dude, son, congrats, man. That is awesome. Look at the splits in the back of his horns. I'll let you get in. God, that is a beast.
That
sucker is
that's
heavy.
a big one, ain't it?
Good God. Look at the neck on that
He
thing.
might be a little bigger than I thought he was.
He's broomed on that side over there.
Yeah, that side's broomed. This side really isn't.
He is a big son of a gun. You got a crane?
Right. Yeah.
Golly, look at the body on that.
It's an odd hunt this morning. We got here early, hoping to get here and not spook nothing, get in, get set up, get comfortable. Honestly, got a little bit too comfortable, looked up, and there he was. Scared the living tar out of me, and then had to wait for him to mingle around, present us with a shot. Wasn't for sure how it was going to go down because he kept slipping us yesterday, but he made a tumble today, and we figured out how to get him. I am very impressed with the Umarex Air Sabre. That sucker carries some energy, and when it hit that thing, it was over. You know, when we got back, we hung him up, you know, we gutted him, and I'm going to tell you, that Air Sabre, it done a number. I mean, there's not a lot that's going to survive that thing.
Congratulations, Gus. That's an absolute unit of an Aoudad. Thanks for sharing with us how beneficial having Record Rack on the ground can be in a hunting scenario. And we are so glad we could welcome you to the exciting world of hunting with Umarex air guns and airbows. Hey, thank you for watching, and join us again next week on a new episode of Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production.